Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Hard left. I love it. Okay, so who made this photo?
Me again.
Okay, so it is essentially a very close up portrait of this absolutely stunning cat who's probably about 1 to 2 years old. He's got it's white and gray with just a little bit of black. The exposure is for those people who know the photography, and it's like it's basically it's like a high, not high definition. Oh, what's the term? I've forgotten it. Anyways, the dynamic range of the image is really, really wide. So you have essentially everything's beautifully exposed from the sky behind to the trees. He's lying on a nice fence. The wood is quite old. It could be a farm fence, and there's a little bit of wiring there. And he's looking. I mean, his irises are super, super small. So you have these beautiful eyes, beautiful pink nose. I have lots of cats, so I know
Nice.
cats.
Yes.
And lots of
Yes.
dogs. I know dogs. But what's the significance of your beautiful cat?
Okay, so I'm not a full-on cat lady yet,
That's fine.
but I think four is a good number. And when I sent you this, I had three, and I think I
Okay.
said I liked four, but I didn't know if we would get to make that happen. And we now have four. We have a kitten, and she's a tortie.
Oh, so that she.
No, actually, that's Loki. He's a boy. But the funny thing about Loki is we've always had girl cats.
Yeah.
Just, boys tend to spray a little bit more. So
Mm-hmm.
we've tended, we haven't had tons of cats over our time, but we tend to get girls. And we had a girl cat at home, so we didn't want to get, and she's tiny, we didn't want to get a bigger, we wanted something that wouldn't freak her out.
Mm-hmm.
When we travel, we like to get a kitten. So Loki, we picked up in Idaho. We were on our way home from Washington visiting a family, and we checked Portland, and we tried to hook up with somebody in Portland to get a kitten, and didn't work. And we got to Idaho, we got to Boise, and where all the farms are outside of Boise, and there were lots of kittens available. And
Mm-hmm.
so we went to this farm, and they had 10 or 12 all together, and it was uncomfortable because the kids were standing there watching and so sad. And we were like, we're going to take a kitten. I'm sorry. And so we picked up Loki
Why was it sad?
because they were sad. It's their cats. You could tell they love their kittens, and we're going to take one away. So it was, I'm sorry. They were watching from between the banisters,
Oh,
they were
no.
kids and kittens. So we reached into this big kennel where they had them all, and Loki came right to us, and we were the guy and his wife was standing, everybody was right there, so we were really kind of uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And in their house, it's just a weird situation. And so we lifted up his tail. Yeah, looks like a girl. Quick, it was just a quick check. and he was a little bit older than we normally get, but we were like, that's okay. He came right to us. He's beautiful colored. Check.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a girl. Let's get out of here. So we gave him $25 and we hit the road. 20 miles down the road, we named him Artemis. The
Sure.
female goddess. And we get to Walmart down the way to stop and get some litter and cat food and get everything we need to get him home. And I'm inside picking out stuff, and my husband, Sam, texts me. He says, we got a problem. This isn't a female. There's definitely testicles on this cat upon closer inspection. So we were like, well, now we got a boy cat.
Mm-hmm.
And so Loki was really the first. We changed it to Loki. He's a trickster. Mm-hmm. He tricked us into, we were going to get a girl, but he tricked us into, we joked that he tucked him up so that we would take him. And we brought him home, and he's wonderful. He's fun. He's big. He's a huge cat.
Oh, wow.
And he's got a harem now because that last fall he was getting spayed or neutered, and there was a girl kitten there at the vet. And I said, what's the story on this kitten? She goes, oh, it's free. She's already been spayed and shots, and she's free to a good home. And I said, well, we've got a good home. Mm-hmm. Loki needs a young friend. So we got Artie. We replaced Artemis. And so then we had three. And then we were going to Ohio to see my family. And in the past, we have picked up a kitten from my uncle who has a farm and always has tons of kittens. And so we debated, but we went and looked, and now we have Tuco.
Okay.
another little girl, and it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Tuco was the ugly, for those of you who know, because she is torty with an attitude, tortitude, I
Mm-hmm.
think they call, and brought her home, and oh my gosh, Loki loves her. He just sleeps with her and cleans her and thinks she's the best thing. And I think
Oh.
that, I don't know if he just thinks we got him a toy kitten, to play with because she's so tiny, or if he's got a harem and he just understands.
There's something about having a large. I mean, I find large male cats, the older they get, they're like such softies. Like they're so benign.
Right, right.
Yeah, and so not to say that the females aren't benign or soft, because some of my female cats are also benign and soft. But the large male cat can sometimes surprise you at saying, you're just like the softest thing.
Just a big old softie. Well, so my readers know when we travel, now they often say, are you going to get a cat this time?
Oh,
Or are you not? And so if I do, it's like, yay, and I share the pictures, and, we,
okay. So that opens up an interesting window. Okay, so it sounds to me that you maintain a very, very open channel with your readers.
yes.
Yeah. So why don't you talk about either your expectations when you got into this, how much has changed in the past, like what engagement with your readers has come to mean for you.
When I started, that was back 2008, 2009, when everybody was just getting going on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all new. And I remember I posted something about a song, and somebody wrote, oh, here we go with another song post, kind of, put me in my place. I was like, okay, I guess that's not what you do. So I started sharing, but I was careful. Like I said, I had kids. And so I named, and by at that time they were babies. One was, brand new pretty much, and the other was 2 going on 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so I named my kids, my daughter's Chicken Noodle, she's the younger one, and my son is Beaker.
Mm-hmm. These are
Um,
like pseudonyms for social media.
yes. And
Got it.
so from the beginning, you didn't get to see pictures. People would say, post pictures of your kids. And I'd say, no,
Mm-hmm.
I will talk about them. I'll share some of their funny quotes, but I won't put their
Mm-hmm.
picture out there.
Good for you.
I wanted them to, be able in time to decide if they wanted to be on social media or not, if they
Right.
wanted their face out there or not. So now I will every now and then share a baby picture that you can't really tell what they look like now. It's
Mm-hmm.
so long ago that not even face recognition software would do anything with it. But so I realized soon that people wanted to see into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. When I take walks, I'll admit there's times if it's dusk, I'll look into a living room window and go, what are they watching on TV? Look at their life. It's like watching a TV. I don't stalk them. I
Okay,
just
sure.
peek and see what life's like. So I got it. They wanted to see peeks into what my life was like. And that was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
That was a new thing back then, especially for an author. Authors weren't, that's an actor.
Yeah.
And actresses, they show their life whatever they want you to see. Authors, we're hidden away. We don't have to show face. So I started, and that was pretty soon thereafter, a couple years after, is when I started with the photography too. We were moving to Arizona. My niece said, you take amazing pictures. I'm putting Instagram on your phone. And I was like, what is Instagram? And
Yeah.
she goes, take pictures with it, post to this account I've just created for you, and share your pictures. People will want to see these. So I started the photography, with the nature and stuff. And I started sharing more about life in videos. And then, so it's really, social media has really changed for many of us authors. We don't live these secret private lives as much
Mm-hmm.
anymore. You still can, and you can run ads, and that's how you promote, or you can show your face and be interactive and build readership that way. So you can, if you're not comfortable with this face stuff, there's other ways to do it, but I'm more comfortable with people. Now, I'm not an extrovert by any
Mm-hmm.
means. I can be on for a while, and then I get tired and I need to shut down and go back. But it started with that, and it's built to, we have a Deadwood fan party every year that we throw, and we have fans come from all over. They've come
Oh
from up in
wow.
Canada, from Hawaii, from Florida. They come in from all over, and we're in Deadwood, and we do like haunted tours, and we do all kinds of stuff. And then we're there with them, so we don't just stay tucked away writing
Sure,
books. We get
sure.
out there and mix with them and get to know them and have fun. And I think this year is our 11th annual or 12th annual. I'll have to look, but it's fun. And the town of Deadwood does a lot to help us, and get fans. And it's all that kind of, and I don't know how we got from a cat picture to this, but it's
Look, we're
social
just
media.
riffing. We're just riffing.
Right.
It's funny because as I'm talking to you, you're giving me this really nice, warm smile, and the same face that had flour and icing sugar in the hat. But at the same time, there's a photo of your cat just kind of almost staring right at me. And oh yeah, and the phrase is HDR, so high dynamic range HDR photo, where everything's just beautifully like exposed. And I hope people, go check out the photographs because they're really really nice.
Well, thank you.
And it's really funny that on the one hand you're explaining this comfort or deal with the devil or whatever that you've made to understand and use social media and putting yourself out there and still maintaining your privacy.
Right.
And as you're explaining this, I've got this unblinking cat like
Staring at me. Yes, staring at you.
I love
I
it.
know. He thinks he's so tough. He just thinks he's such a badass cat, So that's why I threw that out there, just because, I do love animals, and it's not just cats. I do love dogs, but we travel.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
cats are easy to leave at home with a sitter that just comes once a day and checks on them and gives them some attention. Dogs take so much, and I don't. And people will tell me travel with a dog, and I'm like, no, I don't want to travel with a dog. I'll travel with a kitten because they get quiet.
Yeah.
They're quiet at night, but I don't want to travel with a pet. So we don't have any dogs at this time. And we've had a myriad of pets because my daughter went through a phase of wanting to be a vet and wanted every
Mm-hmm,
kind of
mm-hmm.
pet. But now we're down to just cats again, and the stray lizard that they bring in every now and then that runs through the house. And we're like, get the lizard out of here. Poor lizard. So I am a cat lady. But my husband only lets it go to 4. He's like,
That's
that's
okay.
it. And I appreciate that. Too many and you don't give them attention. So
Sure.
yeah, I think people, pets are fun. Not that you have to have them, but I think it adds to the humor in my stories.
Mm-hmm.
The stories have pets throughout. So but they're not the stars.
Right. The food is the star.
The food is the star always in my world. It's always food. Yeah. I
Nice.
joke with people now that I work really hard to stay this chubby. So it's,
And Charles, listen, I really appreciate this. I really inspired by your force of nature. Like it's amazing to be able to have that tenacity and that discipline, even though it's just a process that you kind of work through and you have your people and your team. I mean, it's really quite astounding. Hats off.
Oh, thank you. It's not just me. I don't do any of this alone. It takes so many. It takes from all levels. Like I've said, my husband right at the top helping. Without him, it's like the black and white version before it's all colored in. And the kids, so much inspiration from having kids and watching what
Hmm.
they do. And then to family, to friends, to readers, it just keeps going. And I think that this is not the model for everybody. Some writers don't want to do this. Some entrepreneurs don't want to do this. But people like to help. People like to be part of a team, something successful. And so, given the opportunity, a lot of people will join you just to have something to cheer and go, yay, we did it, And that's something that if you want to build your own empire, then include others. Let them be part of it.
Thank you. That was fantastic.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. shooting it raw.